Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome again to Spiritual Stuff and Fluff. And today I'm joined by the amazing Norman Wong, and he is a pranic psychotherapist. And I'm going to let Norman explain what he does. But can I say I'm so thrilled to have Norman here. He's originally from Hong Kong and he now lives in Malaysia. So there's a bit of a time difference. But I'm so pleased and so thrilled that he's been able to take a time out of his day to come and join me. So welcome, Norman.
Thank you very much, Elaine. Really chuffed that, you invited me.
Well, do you know what it is? I always find you a joy to talk to. I
Thank you.
always find you a joy to talk to because one thing that's always stood out about you to me, is how positive and how upbeat you are. Because I would say that you're a bit like myself. You like to have a laugh. You like,
Yeah,
you like to keep that energy up.
yes.
You don't take yourself too serious, which is great, you know. So you tell me a little bit about what you do as a pranic psychotherapist. Am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah, you
You
are.
tell me. You
Yeah.
tell me.
Yeah. Okay, when I was younger, I really want to make my mom proud. Yeah,
Yeah.
like as an Asian, they
Mhm.
want to have a doctor or lawyer at
Yeah.
home. Yeah. But I couldn't fulfill that. Yeah. So later on, I started going into business. But I had that calling, like last year. And oh my God, it was profound. And I got this calling and healer, being a pranic healer, really, really so like, resonates with me at that time. Yeah. So I said, hey, what is that? Yeah, so I took it up and you know what? That really healed myself
Yes.
first.
Yes.
And then once I got the hang of it, yeah, I can help others, my family, my friends, and others that I don't know. Oh, that blew my mind. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's when I started, yeah, learning about pranic healing.
And I'll ask you this because it always it always blows my mind when you see changes in people. So is you being a healer, that must be like that as well.
Yeah, I think, I think since birth, yeah, I knew I was, meant for something.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know what it was. I thought I can catch a bullet. Yeah, I can, I fantasize about those kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
things. And all of the sudden, yeah, like I think it's just last year that I ran into some trouble myself too. I had sort of like, some emotional and physical
yeah,
and trouble. And it came to me, yeah, from a Facebook ad.
yeah. Yes. It's amazing where it comes from, isn't it?
Yeah,
The thing is, people talk about spirituality,
yeah,
but when you think about it, spirituality, it's for me, you know,
yeah,
it's about being a better person today than what I was yesterday.
yes,
And it's about feeding our soul in a way that lights us up, but also helps to light someone else up.
yeah, brilliant.
You know?
I think, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say, a Facebook ad, because I always find, when I talk to people, people say that they see messages in numbers. They see number
Mm.
sequences a lot of the time,
Yeah,
and that to me is the way that universe speaks to us,
sure.
because the universe has got to speak to us in some way,
Yeah,
you know? So, as you say, a Facebook ad, has that been the universe helping you get onto your path?
I think so. Yeah, since young, yeah, I've always been led by I don't know what. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I've always had the luck. I had the, like the fortune. I had, someone that can help me from somewhere.
Yeah,
I've been really fortunate. And I think, yeah, it is some way, yeah, that, I have a channel that I can, like communicate
yeah,
with
yeah.
the divine. And
Hmm.
so I've been lucky, yeah, but I've never knew what it was. I've always puzzled what it was, and I've
Yeah.
always, but now I have the answer. I have the answers.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, excuse me, is we say, you hear people talk about manifesting intention, and a lot of people think, well, what's that? But, you know, for me, it's if your intention's pure and you
Yeah.
put things out there, it comes back in, and it's been shown to be many, many times to me, you know, you put things out one way, you never know how it's going to come back. And
Yeah.
it is about doing things selflessly, and it
Mm,
automatically does come back, because when we have an intention to be a good person, to be a helpful person, to help
yeah.
someone else, and healing is one of the amazing, most, precious gifts of all.
Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah. Touching up on that point, yeah, because since I have touched spirituality,
Yeah, yeah.
it's just a funny story that I want to share with you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
every time I
Uh-huh.
go to an event, I go to a business event, I go to a sort of like a social event,
Hmm.
I always win something. I
Yes.
always, yeah, it's the luck, yeah, on my ticket, yeah, like you said, yeah, there are figures on there,
Uh-huh.
there's certain symbols on there. I always get, 444 or something like that. Yeah, it's such coincidence.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
thought it might be coincidence, but
Hmm.
I had a couple of sort of like raffles tickets
Hmm.
or table prizes, yeah, that has that number on it. I said, wow, what is that?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, and I'll share a funny story with you. There was
Yeah.
one year I was doing me accounts,
Hmm.
and it didn't matter what I was doing. This figure, when I was adding everything up, this figure, but I knew that the figure was wrong. And it didn't matter.
Ah,
And my brain just was stuck. It just kept coming up with this figure. I
yeah.
was looking at me intakes and it ended with a 7-7. And I looked at me outtakes and it ended with a 7-7. And I added them together and it was a 7-7. And I was going, that's not right because seven
Yeah.
and seven don't make seven. So why
Yeah,
can I keep
that's
coming up
right.
with a seven? You know,
Yes.
and this went on for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Everything was 7-7. And
Yeah.
I went on to my bank account and the last two figures in me balance was 7-7. And
Wow.
I said to myself, right, there's a message here. What is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
So I Googled the
Yes.
meaning 7-7-7
Yeah.
and I had a bit of a chuckle because the meaning came up finances. Look at finances, look at your figures and all this. And I kind of sat back and I went, okay, you've had a laugh with us now. Let us get on with me accounts, please. And do you know what it is? And then I was adding them up and I didn't get the 7-7. But
Uh,
I was basically being told,
yeah.
time to look at my finances and I was doing my accounts.
Yeah.
And I thought, great. You've got a
Yeah.
sense of humor somewhere, you know, and it
Yeah.
is amazing. It is amazing.
Totally. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, what can you talk me through what actually happens in one of your sessions?
Okay. Okay, with pranic healing, yeah,
Mhm.
actually, yeah, I am a sort of like an instrument
Yeah, yeah.
between my patient
Uh-huh.
and the divine. Okay, you can call it, the light, the God,
Hmm.
like Jesus or Buddha.
Yeah.
Okay, I am channeling all that energy so
Hmm.
that I can help them, okay, to heal
Yeah.
themselves faster. I'm not taking over traditional medicine,
No,
but
no,
I'm trying to help them so that I'm using that energy because everyone, yeah, is energy based.
exactly.
Everyone, yeah. Anything is energy based, yeah. When you talk about finances, money, currency, it's a current, so it's a sort of like energy based. So
Hmm.
I'm channeling that energy, yeah, to like help them so that they will have the inner healing faster.
Hmm.
Okay, I can
Hmm.
help with a business, I can help with relationships,
Yeah.
I can help with individuals because that usually the problem arises, yeah, from four things only. Okay, the first thing, yeah, is physical.
Hmm.
All right. Second one is mental.
Yeah.
Third one is emotional.
Yeah.
Or the fourth one, spiritual. Okay, like with me, yeah, like I thought I had it all sussed out. Yeah, I'm the sort of like the networking guru.
Yeah, yeah.
I call myself guru then, but now
No, I
I'm
know
not a
what you
guru
mean. Yeah.
anymore.
No, no, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
now, yeah, I think, yeah, I've gone to a sort of like a higher definition of what
Yeah.
I can help people with. Yeah, not just from materialistic side to
Mm-hmm.
even the higher side. Yeah, I can sort of like the techniques that I use are called pranic healing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can see the chakras. Yeah, what I do is I cleanse the chakras because like sometimes yeah, there might be some faults or
Yeah,
some
yeah.
congestions.
Yeah.
Okay, I cleanse them. I help energize them so
Mm-hmm.
that they are performing yeah, to the best of their ability.
Mm-hmm.
So depending what you need, yeah, different chakras yeah, are related to different things.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I do. Yeah, play with people's chakras.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yeah,
play, but fix. Yeah, and
yeah, yeah.
because like with chakras, yeah, there are many names again. Yeah, Chinese is called chi, and then in Japanese is ki. So you
Yeah,
have right ki
yeah.
and things like that. Yeah. So it's all the same. It's all from the good heart
It
that we
is.
want to help these people with
Mm-hmm.
energy healing. So,
Mm-hmm.
like pranic healing that people don't know about, just look at it as energy healing. That's all.
Exactly. And I've got to say, whenever I've spoke to you, whenever I've, interacted with you, anything, because I've done a couple of your master classes as well in the past, I've
Yeah.
always found your energy, um, I'm going to say entertaining, but I don't mean that you're a comedian. What
Hmm.
I mean by that is it's the positivity.
Yeah.
You seem as though you laugh your way through a lot of things,
Mhm.
and I always find that, there's a saying, laugh in the face of adversity,
Hmm.
and if you can smile through things or laugh through things,
Yeah.
I think that it's a much easier way to get through life,
Yes, definitely.
you know,
Definitely.
um, and we all have hardships. We all have hardships, but
Yeah.
sometimes, I've always found that sometimes even the strongest person needs a helping hand,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Including me.
exactly. And hopefully when people are watching this, they'll be able to reach out and
Hmm.
contact you, because the online world is global. It's
Yes.
global, so your reach must be massive. And can I just ask you one thing? Because I'm interested in this thought. Now, before COVID,
Yeah.
yes, there was an online world.
Yeah.
And yes, energy healing was there. But I've found, and my thoughts are that when COVID happened for
Mm.
me,
Yeah.
it did a favor to a lot of people. For me, it helped the majority of people open up to the
Mm.
possibilities.
Sure. Sure.
And have you found that too with the healing, with the online?
Yeah. Totally, yeah. Like beforehand, a lot of things that we do, yeah, is physical. As
Mhm.
mentioned, I was a networking specialist. I
Yes.
go out to events every single day. But since COVID, yeah, because like you have been in a lockdown, you
Uh-huh.
cannot meet people physically because of,
Yeah.
the medical conditions and things like that.
Hmm.
But now, even, I love it, yeah, that people, yeah, would, just they can meet even more frequent now because like they can just jump on Zoom
Yeah.
or or FaceTime, yeah, just to meet. That's even better for everyone. And
Yeah.
plus,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes yeah, you only have to dress up, yeah, for the top part, and that's all, right?
Yeah, exactly. There was a Zoom fashion, wasn't there? There was a Zoom fashion. And
Yeah.
and I must admit there was a couple of things that I did when COVID was on. Because I used to work over in Canada sometimes of the year.
Oh, yeah,
But with COVID,
Yeah.
obviously, so everything went online. And there
Mm.
was a couple of events that I would wake up at 4 a.m. English
Yeah.
time because I was 8 hours ahead of them. And
Yeah.
it was 4 a.m. English time in the UK time to quickly, sometimes I would just throw a dress over my head. I
Yeah.
would still be in my pajama bottoms. I
Yes.
would just have a dress over my head, and I'd be sitting here quite presentable. I'd brush my hair, I'd put a little bit of
Yeah.
makeup on, and at 5 o'clock I was online. You
Mm.
know, and before COVID, there was a few of my friends over in Canada who
Yeah.
would never thought about using Zoom. We never
Mm.
thought about
Yeah.
even messenger video. We didn't think about
Yes.
that. We'd be
Yes.
messaging each other. And I used Zoom a little bit before COVID as well, but
Yeah.
not as much as, since COVID. And once COVID came, Zoom or online was everywhere.
Yeah.
Even now,
Yes.
sometimes with some of my friends, I'll sit and I'll have a coffee with them. I'll say, "Do you want a
Yeah.
coffee?"
That's right.
It doesn't matter where they are in the world. I say, "Have you got 30 minutes? Do you want a coffee?" And
Yeah.
we'll catch up. It's amazing. And even that is healing.
Oh,
Even that is healing,
yeah.
you know?
It's bringing the people together. And, I just learned this also. Yeah. Like it's with the adversity, like COVID. Yeah.
Hmm.
You have to, it has to happen so
Yeah.
that you can wake up from it and you be a better person.
Yes.
This is exactly that. Yeah. This is something that I have learned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, life is a struggle. It's not happy, all the time. Yeah. If it's happy all the time, you don't progress.
Exactly.
But, if you have adversity, yeah, it's how you deal with it.
Yeah.
That's how you wake up. That's
Hmm.
how you teach your new ways. Yeah. That's how divine God, yeah, teach you new ways so
Exactly.
that you can move on to be a better person, to be happier. So
Exactly.
with COVID, yeah, like although it wasn't a pleasant thing that we went through,
Hmm.
but I have to thank COVID that, it brought a lot of my friends, my family together.
Hmm.
Even families, yeah, you don't, I have families all over the world. We don't see them much. But,
Yeah.
now I can just use Zoom. Yeah. It doesn't, like you said, doesn't matter what time zones it is.
Exactly.
You just jump on, okay, put on the top, and that's it. Yeah. Just don't,
Exactly.
show, yeah, the bottom bit.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
with your healing, do you offer it online or is it in person?
Okay, with my healing, yeah, with pranic healing,
Yeah.
okay, the specialty of it, yeah, is
Mhm.
that I can do it remotely. I don't have to see you, I don't have to
Yeah.
touch you. I can do it remotely. I have been healing people from Malaysia
Uh-huh.
to the US
Yeah.
or Malaysia to Manila,
Mhm.
or Hong Kong. I can do it remotely from, okay, if you want to see me on Zoom, I
Uh-huh.
welcome that.
Yeah.
Okay, but if not, I can, just get your permission
Uh-huh.
and I can perform my techniques and I
Hmm.
can do it from here and you can feel it from
Yeah.
where you are.
Yeah. And as you said before, you got some healing yourself, and it is about an exchange. And I always find that when I see someone healed or being healed, it gives
Yeah.
me a buzz. It gives me a buzz,
Yeah.
you know. And not only that, but even just when we have conversations with people, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes we can resonate with someone and we won't even realize it until they start talking about something. And then
Yes.
it hits a little spot with us.
Yes. You're
It
right.
really hits a little spot. But
You're right.
what I want to ask you is, Norman, now I know a little bit about your history. I know that you were schooled in the UK, you
Yeah.
with BA, you were networking, and what made you go to chronic healing? How did you discover that?
Yeah. Okay. Actually, before I met you last year,
Uh-huh,
okay, I was so lost. Honestly, I was so lost. Yeah, I came to the crossroad
uh-huh.
because I'm just, like a midlife crisis or whatever you
Yeah,
want to call it.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't know anything I want to do. Okay, I've lost my passion in a lot of things, and I am just hiding behind myself. Okay,
Hmm.
I as a guy in the family, yeah, I have to show all the responsibilities and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
And at that time, yeah, because it's a change of jobs for me then,
Hmm.
and I was hitting
Hmm.
rock bottom, yeah, like I
Hmm.
couldn't get my emotions together and things like that. So
Hmm.
that's why, I tried a lot of things. I
Hmm.
tried a lot of things. Yeah, I've been, learning a lot of things, yeah, to see if I can, find a new way to come out.
Yeah, yeah,
I said it's so, materialized. Yeah, I went into sort of like, properties.
yeah.
I sort of like, find the stock markets or, like even learn Krav Maga, okay, to
Mhm.
see if I can teach kids, yeah, and things like
Yeah.
that. But out of all those teachings, yeah, I think, yeah, it hasn't been wasted. It
Hmm.
led me to one way, to come to do the coaching.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
once I came to do the coaching, I see a lot of you guys.
Uh-huh.
I even asked you, yeah, like, when I first met you, yeah, oh, you're a medium.
Yeah, yeah.
What does that mean?
Uh-huh.
So at that time, yeah, like that got me triggered, but I wasn't aware that I was going to go into it. But
Yeah.
it so happened that, like at the right time, at the right place,
Hmm.
that calling came,
Hmm.
and I said, I want to do this for life.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I want to do this for life. Like, I had all those hints, yes, all my life. Yeah. I've been, I have been an atheist, but my
Hmm.
family, yeah, they have been, one side is Christian,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other side is Buddhism.
Hmm.
So I had a lot of teachings here, from both sides, but I couldn't make anything out of it when I was younger. And then later on, yeah, there are a lot of teachings that I teach my kids,
Hmm.
but I know now that I know the true meaning about it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been coaching people that business is spiritual.
Hmm.
At that time, it was only a saying, but
Yeah.
now I truly know what that means.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, so when people are struggling, yeah, it doesn't matter how hard they work,
Hmm.
and there is no return,
Hmm.
there
Hmm.
are something that they haven't done beforehand so that they are good enough to achieve the abundance. So now I totally understand it. Yeah, it's like a big light bulb. Yeah, that got turned on, and I was when you saw me. Yeah, I was a bit like you said. Yeah, I got all those energy,
Hmm.
but I don't know how to channel it. Okay,
Yeah.
I go in into sort of like an event.
Hmm.
People will notice me. Yeah, even I was having a joke. Yeah, I was walking down the streets, and everyone with babies. The babies will look at me. So it's sort of like I honestly I didn't know what that was before, but
Hmm.
now, yeah, I know that I have this energy
Hmm.
and I can make good use of it, and finally I can make my mom proud.
Yes. And the thing is, you know, I would imagine that your mom would be proud of you, whatever you do, as long as you're happy. But,
Yeah,
as you said there, you felt lost. And
yeah, very,
when people when people say they feel lost, it doesn't always mean, that they don't know the way. It can mean that they just don't know what to do,
yeah,
and sometimes it is about, because to be fair, when people say business, a lot of people automatically think it's a product business.
yeah,
Or, they don't realize that it's your knowledge. They don't realize that it's service. They don't realize that it could be energy,
sure,
and
sure,
who can touch energy?
yeah,
We can touch an electric wire, and then if we want to hair and things like that. But, you know, but
yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing how, because I resonate with what you say there. I
Mm.
resonate with what you say there because a good few years ago, I bumped into someone and I'd not seen her for a long time, and she'd actually said, "Oh, I hear that you're a medium now." And I said,
Mm.
"Well, I've always been a medium." I says, "But I didn't understand,
Yeah.
didn't understand it." I says, "Didn't understand." And what she says. Why you seem very calm now. You seem, because I had beforehand had that much energy, I didn't know what to do. I was all
Yes.
over the place. I because I had that much that I wanted to do, but didn't know how to do it, and I'd be jumping from one thing to another. I could
Yeah.
be, I would be very animated when I spoke because I was just full of energy.
Yes.
And
Yes. That's
when you realize where, and I put that down to because I wasn't channeling it into what I should have been channeling it.
yeah.
But now I channel it into what I should be. And to me, that I'm not going to say that's what's calmed us down because I'm still a little bit,
It's okay. It's okay to have that once in a while. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but um, but I know what I'm doing with my energy.
Yeah.
You
At least
know,
you have direction in life.
exactly,
That you know what you are here on earth for, right?
exactly.
And that clarity, yeah, honestly, it's $1 million question. A lot of people they've been fighting all their lives, yeah,
Mm.
just to find this answer.
Yeah.
And me and you, yeah, we are so lucky,
Uh-huh.
through maybe this adversity that we found out
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what we are here for. And yeah, that's the biggest, yeah, I can say that's the biggest achievement
Yeah.
of anything else, yeah. That
Exactly.
I know exactly
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what I need to do
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Well, this is it, and I'm going to say, I've never been religious. So when people talk about spirituality in the past, a lot of people thought it was religion. And I've
Yes.
never been. It's not that I don't believe in God, I do. I believe in a higher power. I believe in the universe. I
Yes.
don't believe in the man sitting on the robe with the white flowing robe and sitting
Yeah.
on the throne. I don't believe in that. But I do believe
Yes.
in a higher power.
Yeah.
And, when I was a child, I was doing Bible study. I went to
Mm.
Sunday school. I was a member of every type of church going.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, um, Church of England, everything. I was
Yeah.
christened, I was baptized,
Yeah.
I'd go
Wow.
to all the different things. And
Yeah.
when I was about 14, I actually looked into becoming a Buddhist
Oh.
because I didn't realize at the time that I was searching for something,
Yeah.
but didn't know what.
Yeah.
And I thought I could find it in a church. But for me, spirituality, it could be found in a bus stop. It doesn't need to be in a church
Yeah.
building,
Yeah.
because it's in us.
Yeah.
It's in us.
Yeah.
I think that's the beautiful thing about spirituality.
Yeah.
It varies for every person.
Sure.
So when you were growing up, did you ever have any funny experiences? And why I ask that is because when I talk to people about spirituality,
Yeah.
a lot of people are opening up and now saying, well, when I was a child, I thought I saw a ghost. When I was a child, I would hear voices. When I was a child, this, that, and the other. Did you have anything like that happen to you?
Not per se that I've seen things, yeah, because like I still haven't had the third eye,
Hmm.
so I couldn't. But like I said at the beginning, yeah, I've always been lucky.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
It all came maybe, from, my mom. She was, from the Buddhism
Yeah,
side,
yeah.
and
Hmm.
my dad from the Christianity side. Yeah. It's all about karma.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's all about past lives. Yeah. Like, how much good karma. Okay. Just like you, when you're doing good to people, people
Yeah,
will
yeah.
do good. you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you can accumulate those karmas, they do, yeah, carry forward to your next lives. And I think I've been so blessed
Mm-hmm.
that I have this good karma from my past self or my parents or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I am really grateful for them now. So now I am even teaching my kids, okay, a funny story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in Malaysia, there are a lot of mosquitoes. All
Yeah.
right. What
Uh-huh.
I do is, yeah, like when I see one before, yeah, I was, just slap it, yeah, like it was a karate kid or whatever. But people tells me, okay, if you kill one mosquito a day, okay, in karmatic life,
Uh-huh.
1 month is equaling to killing one person.
Yeah.
So nowadays, when I see a mosquito, I will go away
Uh-huh.
instead, right?
Yeah.
And if we do prayers, yeah, to the mosquito,
Mm-hmm.
funny enough, they don't come to me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are good to them,
Mm-hmm.
because like it's not just to human, it's all about sentient creatures also,
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
us, whatever. Because like in different realms, yeah, they're different, like creatures
Uh-huh.
that I learned.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're good to them, they will be good to you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I've proven it
Mm-hmm.
with mosquitoes, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that okay, I will not kill a mosquito from now on. I even tell my kids, yeah. So next one, yeah, for me is cockroaches. So I'm going to
Oh,
say no more.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So yeah, so when I was younger, yeah, I've been getting all these teachings, yeah, from my
Uh-huh.
my family. I didn't know what it was. But funny enough, yeah, my dad, yeah, although his side is Christianity,
Yeah, yeah.
but one time, yeah, he would like to be, he was like, because when he was younger, yeah, a family of 10,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Right.
they couldn't take care of too many.
Yeah.
So when he was younger, yeah, he gets sick a lot. So he got sent to a monastery, yeah, for a couple of months. So
Mm-hmm.
he knew the Buddhism teaching as well from there. And I think it stuck to my mind, yeah, when I was in adversity, I said, oh, if I cannot do anything in the world, yeah, I couldn't, I might even go to the monk temple, to be a monk, yeah,
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I don't know, yeah, it's driven me, yeah, to this sort of I'm not saying, yeah, spirituality should be religious,
No, no.
okay, but I'm saying, yeah, it's all pointing to the right way, just to be good, to be happy, to
Mm-hmm.
be content, how to deal with diversity, how to get, like the answers you need. So
Exactly.
yeah, so I'm really grateful.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken me so like 50 years of my time to find out,
Yeah.
but now I'm a happier person, yeah,
Would you
happier
change
person.
it? Would you change it? Would you change it? Thinking about it, would you go back to the you of a year ago, or would you stay the you now?
I think, yeah, I will stay the me now
Mm-hmm.
because like, it's what I went through. I knew
Yeah.
what I need to do. If
Yeah.
I haven't gone through those things, yeah, if I've been spoiled all that time,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have an focus
Yeah.
what I need to deal with,
Mm-hmm.
how I can deal with if I, accounted to those things as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that I took this and no regrets.
Uh-huh.
But I think it's the adversity that you have to go through
Yeah.
in order for me to become what I am today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And do you follow meditations? Do you do meditations?
Yeah, beforehand, okay, like I always joke with my friends, yeah. If you put me to meditation, I
Mm-hmm.
will fall asleep. I'll be the first one snoring.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing it every single day,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I find those are so peaceful for me.
Yeah.
That helps me, yeah. And
Yeah.
sometimes meditation, yeah, the pranic healing meditation that we do,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it also heals
Mm-hmm.
ourselves as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I do more spirituality now
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
than actual work,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it helps in life.
Yeah. But your pranic healing is spiritual.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
And you know that saying, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
yeah. I always had that saying. Okay, I even, coach people,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Uh-huh.
but now I truly know what that means. I
Yeah,
truly know what that means, yeah. And plus, it's not obsession, yeah, but it's a journey that you go
yeah.
through that you will do automatically,
Yes.
and there's no regrets, yeah. You will want to do it
Yeah.
every
Mhm.
single day,
Yeah.
because I with pranic healing, yeah, actually that will lead to a heartic yoga.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a sort of like a program, yeah, that you can heal yourself at first.
Yeah, yeah.
You can sort yourself out financially,
Uh-huh.
and then you can know more of yourself to
Yeah.
become oneness with the universe,
Uh-huh.
and then you can start, yeah, your journey. So, to me, although, I'm a sort of like a psychotherapy
Yeah.
that can help people, yeah, with those four problems that I was talking about,
Yeah, yeah.
there's still a huge path that I need to go.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy that I started it
Mm-hmm.
and I'm on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a start, yeah, that brings you to where you want to be.
Yeah.
Okay, with other things, yeah, like networking beforehand.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes, yeah, you feel, hey, if I don't do it, that's okay. But with this, it's for real life.
Yeah.
It's an example for your family. It can help your family. It can help your next life.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? You know?
Exactly. And the thing is, it helps to open, we can be grateful for things in life. We
Yeah,
can be grateful. But this is just my thoughts, until we open spiritually,
yeah,
are we really just saying, I'm grateful, I'm thankful? I think there's a big difference between the words and the
yeah.
feelings.
Sure, sure.
When your heart opens up, you
Yeah,
feel that gratitude, you feel that thankfulness, and it really does make a difference on what you're putting out, and it comes
yes,
back.
yeah.
And I've got to say, even just talking to you, I can see that there's, I don't want to say growth, but I want to say
It
there's a
is growth.
change in you. There's a
Yeah,
change in you. Yes, there'll have been growth, but there's a change in you that is, you seem more happier.
yes. I'm truly
A
happier.
different type of happiness.
Yeah, yeah,
And I mean, and I'll be honest with you, I love all your videos when you're singing Oasis and things like that. I love all them. But talking to you today,
yeah,
it's just like a different Norman I'm talking to, a more peaceful, a more centered Norman,
yeah. You're absolutely right.
you
I'm
know?
now a little bit more rooted,
Yes. Uh-huh.
not not over the place now. Yeah.
Yes.
Beforehand, I was searching for different things.
Uh-huh.
Like trying my videos. And you see that I'm changing
Yeah,
every single
yeah.
day,
Uh-huh.
but now it's just one thing and one thing only now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. And it does
yeah,
make a difference. And um, past lives. You know, I have a bit of a chuckle about past lives because I always think to myself, if hopefully I don't need to come back. Um, hopefully I've learned all my lessons.
yeah.
But I have a chuckle because I think to myself, if I come back, I'm probably going to be the one that comes back as a fly that hovers around a moldy piece of bread. That'll be me coming back. You know
Okay.
to help to heal the moldy piece of bread. But what's your thoughts on past lives? Do you think that you'll come back? Do you think you've got many more lessons to learn?
I think so. Okay, because like with past lives, yeah, I truly believe in it when I was younger.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sometimes it's not just a lesson that you learn.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's someone that you want to come back to
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
them, and
Mhm.
plus that sometimes it is unfinished business that you want to carry on, yeah, to have it finished.
Yeah.
So, although, like we are in an energy body, you
Yeah.
see, we are in the physical body,
Hmm.
but we still travel around, okay, once we are past.
Yeah.
So, like with that, yeah, if you call it past lives or present life, it's
Hmm.
only in the physical body. So, like with us, yeah, the energies will still go on.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I truly believe in that. I truly believe
Yeah.
in that. And I want to, like, if you are good enough, then you
Mhm.
can, but even, with my masters, yeah, they go on, okay, they pass, but they're still in spirit
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they can still
Uh-huh.
help people. And I think that's the most wonderful thing. As long
Exactly.
as you're doing good to others, yeah, like, hey, I don't mind coming back and learning my lessons and finish my business and
Yeah.
help the people or thank the people that I should thankful and yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. And just talking about spirit normal, um, would your grandfather on your mother's side, would he be over in spirit?
My
Your
grand,
mother's father.
yeah. Okay,
And were you close to him?
very.
Because he's sorry about this, but
No,
he's made us aware that he's right by your side and he's so proud of you as well. And I know that he backs you in where you're going in life. And I want to say that he also makes us aware here that, in the middle of your back, the middle of your shoulders,
yeah,
would you understand where there's times where you feel a little bit of tension there?
I, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because he gives us the feeling that he just touches you there
yeah,
and he gives you the healing. And I want to say it's the healing, it's the confidence to move
yeah.
forward. Um, but it seems as though he's made us aware here that in a way, it's as though you're moving forward in a slower way than what you were, but this is a more steady way.
Okay,
This has
okay,
got it's got the longevity with
yeah,
it where you're going now. So I
yeah,
know that he makes us aware that he's there because he's just given us a glimpse of himself. So he's there behind you, he's following you, he's proud of you. And I want to say that he says thank you. And he also says, I love you as well, because I feel as though with your grandfather, I feel a very grateful man. I feel a very thankful
yeah,
man. Um, and I know that he would have had his hard times as well. And he gives us the feeling of almost like a hardness about him. But it's not that it was a hardness, it's that he had to put that hardness up to get himself through sometimes. Do you understand?
yeah.
And
Thank you very much for that.
he
Yeah,
brings
letting.
that in and he wants you to know that he's there with you. Okay? So I'm going to leave that with you, leave his love with you, say
Thank
God
you,
bless. And can I say thank you very much, Norman, for joining me today. And I want, you know, everyone can get in touch with you on Facebook.
yeah,
I'm going to put your link in the description
yes,
so that
please,
everyone can get in touch with you to know more about your pranic healing,
yeah,
maybe book sessions with you. Because,
yes,
you know, it's been a real eye-opener talking to you today.
thank you so much.
It really has. And can I say, I hope that you'll come back and join me again.
I
Um,
will,
Good, thank you. So I'm
I
going to
will.
say thank you very much for that. And I'd like to, hope everyone does contact Norman or follows him on Facebook because there's so many benefits to the energy healing that Norman provides. So whatever your problem is, the four things, emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, Norman is the man for you. So I'm going to say thank you very much. And
Okay,
remember to keep your spirit light and your laughter loud because it all helps. I'm going to say thank you very much, Norman,
thank
for
you,
today.
thank
And
you very much. Thank you.
I'll see you the next time. Thank you very
Yes.
much for that, Norman.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you.
Thank you.